Success is not by accident, it is by design. And welcome to the Success by Design show, where we bring you the stories and formulas of successful people that have designed their own success. Today is a very special program because we're talking to young entrepreneurs that have designed their success. And I met a few young people here. We have Luke and Natalia, and thank you for coming on the show. And I told you before we started the show, I was not going to say your last name, so you guys can say your last name?
Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski.
Now you know why I wouldn't say that. So, thank you for coming on the show. Great to have you guys here on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So we're talking about young people and being entrepreneurs. So what made you want to be an entrepreneur at such a young age? Number one, first of all, the ages.
I'm 16.
16?
I'm 20.
20. So you're around there, but I mean that's awfully young. I mean you could have easily been get a job at McDonald's. So what really, what was the momentum behind you guys becoming entrepreneurs? And just by you guys are in the same family, right?
Yeah.
So a family of entrepreneurs. This is incredible. Let's hear it.
When I was growing up, my family took swimming lessons in the Ottawa River at Constance Bay. It was just really amazing to be taught in such a nice environment. And so I continued and I took all my swimming courses. I got my NLS, my lifeguard, and my swim instructor. And I decided that there was nothing in Ottawa that actually offered the same environment for learning swimming. Nobody went to people's backyard pools and taught. No one really taught in the river that much anymore. And so I figured I really want to give other children the same kind of experience that I had growing up, because swimming is such an important skill to have. And I really love working with kids. So that's why I mixed my two, and I decided I'll address this issue, this market gap, and decided that I'd start my business back when I was 17, 3 years ago, to teach swimming lessons in people's pools.
Wow. And Luke?
The main reason I started my company is because of Natalia.
You saw her doing it. I want to do that too.
I saw her start run a successful company. So the next year, I wrote my business plan. I got accepted to summer company. And after that, I didn't look back. And it's been lots of fun.
Now, you could have had a job, right? You could have gone out, got jobs and saved and, did the real traditional way. Do you find that a lot of younger people are starting to look, at starting businesses as an other option from starting a job, getting a job?
I would say absolutely yes.
Yeah.
After going through all the entrepreneurial steps, I have tons of friends that are entrepreneurs, and it seems like everywhere I go, I meet another one every single day that's somebody my age, so I'd say it's definitely another option.
And what about, was it the same for you?
Yeah, pretty much the same, because just everybody has something special that they can offer. And so everyone that I talk to, they can give a little twist to something to make it their own. And so I think it is good also with the shortage of jobs. Some of my friends can't do it, so they're forced to create a job of their own. And it's awesome running a business, so you never look back to go get a job at a company.
Now I'm going to ask both of you, because it wasn't like you started a business, started making money right away, right? Like, what are some of the obstacles and some of the challenges that some of the young people would face today if someone wanted to, start a business tomorrow?
I think it was the startup costs are that's the largest thing, because normally when you started looking for a job, you don't have money. So for me, it was a lot to get insurance, to get all the certification, everything. There's a lot of money put up front. So that's the hardest part. I was lucky with Summer Company that they gave you a grant to help with that, ease that stress. But I would say that's the number one. Also finding work. I know Lucas, he does a good job at doing that.
Yeah.
Salesman.
Yeah. The hardest thing for me is competition, right? I'm a landscaper, and everywhere you go, you see another landscaping company. There's 10 on my street, and you're always lowballing the other guy, and that's the hardest part. It's competition.
So how do you deal with that? Like, what makes you different than somebody? Let's say someone has been doing it for 20 years, right? You just started in the game. So what kind of makes you different?
Well, first of all, I do most of my work in the same neighborhood I grew up in, so most of the neighbors already know me. I will beat any price because I do have overhead, but not as much as some of the bigger, more expensive companies, so I can do it for almost any price.
Well, the older guy's got a mortgage and kids to feed and all kinds of stuff.
And I do 101% jobs. That's the main reason.
Wow. Now, you guys you talked about summer company. What are some resources that, you know, if someone out there, you know, 17 is kind of the it's kind of the age, right? 16, 15,
Yeah.
some people get into businesses.
Yeah.
What are some of the resources that, you know, some of these young people could take advantage of? Not only if young people are watching this program right now, but even their parents, that they could say, you know what, son, you know, you should go check out Summer Company, and you know, how do people get in contact with some of these resources?
Go onto the brain, go onto Google, type in Invest Ottawa. They're the number one company in Ottawa for entrepreneurs. No matter if you're 15-year-olds or if you're 40, they have everything there for you. And the program that we went to, Summer Company, you write your business plan and they'll give you a grant that's funded by the government. And if you already started your business and you need help, or if you need some guidance, then go to Invest Ottawa, and they are more than pleased to help you.
And that's about to give you this grant, and you know, you have to, do they like monitor how you spend this money?
Yes, you have to have a whole log of exactly how you spent the money. Keep all the receipts to prove it. Keep your Excel file up to date so you can prove, and anything that you don't spend they ask back, but normally that's not an issue. But that was, with that they made sure that you kept your money on track, and they also gave you mentors.
Wow.
So you would go to a meeting, bi-weekly meeting, and there would be almost 15 mentors there from all over the place, from all different areas of business that could help you. So if you had a question, I could go to the lawyer and say, I need a waiver, I have this little legal issue, what do I do? Yeah. So it was nice because it was free, and they were there to help you, and they wanted you to succeed.
So now you're on your third year. Now your business is self-sustained, because you don't show up there every summer and say, where's my grant, right?
Yes.
No. They give you like
Yes.
a little push, a little nudge.
Yeah.
And then you're on your own, right?
That's right.
Yes.
So now what was the moment where you said, you know what, now I have a business, it's self-sustained, it's great that I had that funding at first, but now, you know, it's like your aha moment, the moment that you knew that you're in business and you're doing it and you're making a profit.
It was probably halfway through my first summer. The main reason that made me want to keep going with my business after the first month that was really hard, getting new clients, was just the children. I love my students because you're teaching them swimming, and they learn to trust you, and you just kind of bond with them, and they really enjoy you coming, and so you love your job. I love my job, and I'd be like, it's a bonus that I'm making money and that it's progressing, but I couldn't just go away and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to teach you swimming anymore. So that was just the aha moment. I was just like,
you connected with the children. Yeah.
And it was awesome.
When was your moment? When was the moment that you said, you know what? This is good for me. This is better than Tim Hortons, or this is better than working at McDonald's.
Same again last summer. Nearing the end of about in the fall time, I got a very big contract to build a 50-foot garden with an irrigation system built into it. And 2 weeks later, when I had it all finished, it looked amazing. I felt amazing, and the customer was very satisfied. And I saw that I can make something that's going to be there. It has my name on it, and it looks amazing, and it's profitable, and it's way better than being inside a building. You're outside and getting fit, and
And the tan?
Yes, and the tan, yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That's really excellent. So for maybe parents, either could be parents or young people watching this right now, I usually ask people about 3 tips, but we're going to split it up 2 tips each. Is that okay?
Okay.
I don't want to cause any rivalry or any fighting. Okay, so 2 tips each that someone out there could take and run with.
Okay.
My first tip would be research. You really need to research what your business is, where your niche is going to be, what your clients are looking for, what other people are doing. I would look at people in California where this business is really big, backyard swimming lessons, and see what they're doing and put it back towards mine. That's what I spend most of my time doing, is the research part of it. And my other one would be to always adapt with change. Things change over the 3 years. My business has changed quite a bit because people's needs, other companies coming in, you always have to have that edge to your business. So you always have to be aware of what's changing and to be willing to adapt.
Research and adapt.
Yes.
Okay.
2 tips.
Mine would be never cut corners. Being a startup business, you're undoubtedly going to give a lower and better price than some of your competitors, and you will be you will think, okay, well, I can do the job this way and get it done faster and still make good money, but you can't cut corners. You have to do it exactly the way that people expect you to do it, and therefore make it very professional. The other one would be to make sure your customer is 100% satisfied, because we all know that a satisfied customer is the best advertising out there.
And a return customer too.
That's
Yes.
right. So make sure your customer is completely happy, and you'll get more business from him or her.
Now, tell me the environment at home. Like, are you guys competing? Like, I made this much or this much. You know, like
Yes.
it's like, is there any other entrepreneurs in the family, or you guys have how many brothers and sisters here?
There's 7 of us in total.
7.
Yes.
4 boys,
So
3 girls.
what does that look like? You know, do they want to start businesses? Like, what's going on in your household?
It comes like that. Actually, my brother in between us, he's 18. He actually works for my business now because we need to expand. So
Employed your brother.
yes,
Okay, that's good.
because he jumped in. He's like, "Hey, you're making money. This looks good. You're getting a tan,
Yeah.
and it just sounds fun." And so he joined, and I think everyone, it all works out. Everyone's always happy. There is competition between us too, to always see at the end of each summer how much we've made and how many clients.
And that keeps the business. That's part of the business. Like, it
Yeah.
helps you do better, right? Wow, that's just, I'm just blown away. Young people doing, entrepreneurs. I was a young entrepreneur myself, so I can really resonate with what you guys are saying, and I can see kind of this as being a trend where we used to get the paper out, and now it's like a business.
Yeah.
But really quickly, because we're about to end the show, can you give us one quote that you live by?
My quote would be, "Winning isn't everything, but wanting to is."